little Georgia peach from Decatur, where it's greater. East side chick, she ain't never been a hater. A boss and a baddie, yeah, she ain't your average. She do her makeup thing, call that a MUA.
Hello, beauties. Welcome back to the Pink Playhouse. And if you are new here, hey girl, hey. My name is Monet, and I am the CEO of the Pink Playhouse. And today we're getting into a super easy, beginner-friendly brow tutorial. Y'all, brows are honestly one of the most important parts of your makeup because they frame your face, they enhance your features, and they can completely change your look and amp it up 1,000 notches. So whether you're a soft natural brow girly or a bold glam brow girly, learning your brow shape is essential, okay? Brows can help create symmetry, fullness, and structure, and sometimes we're literally just going to create a whole new brow from scratch just because, and that's perfectly okay. Makeup is art, and there are no strict rules here. I just want to let you know, cleaning up your brows beforehand is completely optional. You can wax, thread, tweeze, and even use a razor for a cleaner brow shape. Personally, y'all, my brows are naturally thin as hell, so I literally don't clean them up for real. I just work with what I have, and I clean it up with concealer. So let's jump right into the brow pencil. So I'm going to be using the LA Girl Micro Brow Pencil, and this is the shade Granite. And sometimes I also use the shade Espresso or like Deep Chocolate. It just all depends on my hair color. I definitely recommend you do your brows the same color as your natural hair, okay, or at least the extensions that you're wearing. But yeah, I love a micro brow pencil because it really gives a precise hair-like strokes. It's super beginner friendly, and it really helps create the most natural brow in my opinion, other than a brow powder, but those are too lightweight for me. So first we're going to go ahead and brush our hairs in place. I recommend you do this so that you can just go ahead and see your natural brow shape, as well as use any pomade or gel if you have full brows to go ahead and just make your brows look a lot more cleaner for the cleanup process, the filling in the cleanup process, honestly. So I'm going to go ahead and take this brow pencil and draw right underneath my brow. I'm going to outline the bottom of my brow shape, okay? And I encourage you all to follow your natural brow shape unless you're creating a whole new brow look. And then I also recommend using light hand pressure here, okay? Don't grip your pencil too hard because you don't want your brows to look harsh, okay? You want them to look soft and natural. So as we're creating the structure of the face, I want to go ahead and slowly fill in the center and the tail of the brow with my pencil. Y'all, the tail is usually going to be the darkest part of the brow, and then your front of your brow should stay softer and a lot more diffused. And then I'm just going to take that spoolie that's on the back of the pencil and blend everything out. Y'all, this step is very important because it's going to soften up the product. It's going to make sure that it's spread it out evenly, and it's just going to make sure that your brow looks natural and seamless. Like you really, I say there are no strict rules here, but I promise you, just for a clean, natural, like we love your brows look, you don't want them too harsh, y'all. Like not too dark, not too hard on the face. Super soft, diffused, natural looking is literally how you want to go. And remember, don't stress yourself out, y'all. Brows are sisters, they're not twins, okay? They don't have to be perfectly identical, so just make sure that you're just trying to give them a good balance, but you're not trying to be perfect, okay? Sisters, not cousins. And we're just going to continue repeating this same exact process on the other brow, outlining underneath, outlining on top, creating those soft hair-like strokes right in the front, filling in the sparse areas, and blending everything out with our spoolie. Now that our brows are shaped, we're going to go ahead and clean everything up using our Sephora Biskin Ever Concealer in the shade 28.5 Neutral. And y'all, clean up the brows with concealer really is going to sharpen up the shape and make your brow pop even more. I like to go in with a flat concealer brush and apply the concealer right underneath. So it depends, to be honest with you. Like if I am focusing my intention on my arch, I'm actually going to start highlighting underneath my arch first. When I'm going in with a natural brow, I actually just go ahead and start at the front of my brow and drag that concealer product all the way over. So it can also, it just depends on what you feel comfortable with. Just make sure you're taking your time when applying the concealer. light strokes if you need to, very steady hand. And remember, concealer is literally like an eraser, and so you will just want to be careful because it can get a little messy if you remove too much of your brow and then you're trying to go back in and put that brow product right on top of where that concealer is. Okay, just want to make a note of that. So as I'm blending the concealer downward, I'm also lightly prepping my eyelid at the same time. And so I like to do this step, especially when I'm doing either way. If I'm doing a glam with eyeshadow, I like to do this step because it just goes ahead and preps my eyelid for the for the eyeshadow. But if I am not doing any eyeshadow, I still love doing this step because it just makes my skin one even tone, because my eyelids are sometimes they're just a little more pale, if you will, than the concealer that I use. So I just want everything to look even. So as y'all can see, I'm literally taking my time doing this part. I've been doing makeup for years and I still don't rush through this process, okay? Precision is everything when cleaning up your brows. Small strokes and patience is always going to give you the best results. So now I'm just going to take my dense fluffy brush and buff that concealer right into the skin. I like using pressing and tapping motions instead of swiping motions too much because we really don't want to move the product around or lose the sharpness of the brow. We really just want this product to melt right into the skin and stay exactly where we want it, which is right underneath our brow. Remember, y'all, I tell y'all in every single video, blending is key, okay? The most important thing you can do in your makeup application is blend. I don't care what colors you use, what products you use, high end, low end, whatever it is. You can get away with so much with your makeup game as long as you're blending out your products, for real. So y'all, remember, blending is what's going to make your makeup melt right into your skin and look flawless. Don't rush, okay? And then before I continue doing anything after I blend, y'all, please make sure your brows are as even as you can get them, okay? Like, please do not follow, don't jump to this next step until you make sure the bottom parts of your brows are evenly aligned, okay? So now we're going to do the same thing right on top of the brow. I am actually mixing that same Sephora concealer in with a darker concealer. I want to say it might be Sephora collection as well, or it might be from the beauty supply store. It's definitely a budget friendly concealer, but it is a couple shades darker than me. So I like to blend these two together, just to make sure that the concealer is actually matching more of my skin tone versus underneath my brow. I like to go in with something that's like a shade lighter than I am, to give me a bright under eye. And in the makeup world, we would consider this a halo effect. So a halo effect underneath the brow, beautiful. On top of the brow, depending on the look you're going for, you might not necessarily want that look. So it's best that you go in with a concealer on top of your brow that matches your natural skin tone. And I'm gonna say it again. Make sure you're taking your time, okay? How many times have I said that in this video? For real. One day I might have to do a game with y'all. Be like, how many times did I say blend? And how many times did I say take your time? And I might have to give y'all a prize because that means you were paying attention, because it's key, okay? But like I said, y'all, you want to make sure your brows are as even as possible, okay? I have even seen people go as far as creating a unibrow with their pencil, and then they just remove the center with concealer just to make sure they're even. So literally do whatever it is that you need to do to achieve the perfect brow. So same thing, we're just going to go right back in with that fluffy dense brush, and we're just going to go ahead and now in this process I actually do like to tap and swipe, because swiping low-key removes the product. So I don't want as much as that product to show, which is why earlier I said this part you don't want to use as much products. You want to use a lighter hand, all of that. And then I like to kind of sweep the product down, so it's like just kind of help it create the top structure, but the sharpness really is important for under the brow. So now I'm just going to go back in with the brow pencil, and I'm going to add a few more hair-like strokes at the front of my brow, because sometimes that can be removed with your concealer or as you're blending your products in. So I just want to make sure we go back in, create those hair-like strokes, soft, gentle strokes, okay? And then we're just going to brush through the brows one more time, making sure that everything is blended evenly, soft, fluffy, and it's polished. And this is the final brow look, y'all. Super simple, beginner friendly, clean, and pretty. And I like doing my brows and just adding a lash for a natural enhancement whenever I'm just gonna run out and do errands, or whenever I'm just like dealing with the general public. Not anything special. I just want to look presentable, because first impressions are real, and as a businesswoman, I'm just always representing myself. So thanks again for watching this tutorial, y'all. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Definitely share this video with a friend who's struggling to perfect their brows. And I'm going to see you beauties in the next one. Mwah.